Oh, hey guys. I didn't see you there. Just kidding, I saw you there. Technically, I set the camera up. acninjaa here. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're gonna be installing this chin mount. It's a flexible one on this motorcycle, and more specifically, on this gas tank. You might ask, why am I doing that? Well, because the chest mount that I generally use does a lot of this. And it looks terrible, right? It's great at slow speeds, not like a professional chest mount for a movie camera. It is an action camera chest mount that's got those elastic straps, and it just shakes like freaking crazy, and it's no more shakies. I want a nice, solid, immersive POV shot for you, the viewer. Should be a pretty straightforward process. Famous last words. Everything we talk about in the video today, including this flexible chin mount, which you can mount anywhere. I already use one on my windscreen right here, can be found below in my description. If you're just starting to ride or you're just looking for some new equipment, maybe you don't film your rides and you want to start, this is a must-have in my opinion. The chin mount here, you can see that right there. If you got a 3D printer, you can 3D print these. I know they have software files for these. If you don't want to be bothered with that, these are not that expensive. Plus Prime Day's coming up, and you can get everything that I talk about in this video today in any of my affiliate links below. What I did is just curated everything into one nice, easy location, REVZILLA or Amazon. You don't got to go crazy searching the internet. Take advantage, save yourself some money, support the channel at the same time. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Thank you to my members as always. If you're not a member, membership link is also below. Early access to every video, member exclusive videos, live streams coming in the future, and exclusive access to merch. With that said, let's get started and install this bad boy. What I want to do today is put a new camera mount on the bike. I'm experimenting with some new camera positions. You can see I got one here on the windscreen. I generally just use one when I ride and when I vlog. Sometimes I just switch that single camera around for different shots depending on the view, the sun, and how everything looks that day while I'm riding. What I want to do is start using a secondary camera. Even if I don't use a secondary camera, one thing I do like doing is getting a chest mount shot. I'll show you what I want to get. So this is the chest mount shot that I'm looking for. So I love this sort of more immersive POV shot where it feels like you're kind of sitting on the bike. Don't mind the cameras being flipped up at the moment. The problem is you use a chest mount to do that, generally speaking, and with the chest mount, if you're going at anything higher than a few miles an hour, unless I get like a crazy sturdy industrial one, these elastic ones I have, they tend to start doing this and bounce a lot. And I don't like that. I don't think that's a good look. Also, the height is different every time. I feel like you can never quite get it exactly. Depends on the gear I'm wearing that day. Sometimes it's sagging, sometimes it does this and starts to lean crooked, and I can fix all that in post, but it's just annoying. And it just doesn't look great in my opinion. So what I want to do today is chin mount has these newer, I mean, they're not new now, they were new when I bought them. It's a flexible mount, and I want to put that right about here. Now, might be a little bit of an eyesore, and we'll just see how I feel about it. I do think if we can get it here, I think that looks badass. I really do. With the ultra wide, it would probably look much more like that. And I think that's going to look cool. And the key difference is, as opposed to the vest, is it's going to be solid and stable. And that's what I want. It'll vibrate with the bike a little bit, but I trust the stabilization enough on this camera that I'm not so worried about that. But we'll find out, maybe not. And if it doesn't, as far as I understand, I should be able to take these off without any issue. So I'm hoping if I do this and I hate it, I can remove it without messing up my paint job. The research I've done tells me that that's going to be the case. So here's hoping, one, I love it and have no reason to change it. If I don't, I can remove it without any hassle. If you look through here, this is very black. So what I might do too is swap this windscreen back to my slightly more transparent one so you can at least see the road. And the problem is that I love the way this windscreen looks, you know? Like, do I want to do that? We'll get this mounted. We'll take it for a test ride, see how it looks with the black. Odds are I'm going to swap it to my other. I have 3 windscreens. I have the original it came with. I have the PUIG Racing, which is slightly smoked, just enough to give it a nice look without being dark. And then I have the zero gravity double bubble, basically blacked out. Unless the sun is shining right through it, it's pretty much blacked out. So, all right, I think I wasted enough time yapping. Let's get started. I just realized I moved a scarab-like sized beetle in the grass, and I was just probably standing right on top of it. So I put the aperture in ultra wide. That way we can get an idea of what this is going to look like once it's mounted. I also have the bottom mounted to it. So let me show you guys what I'm doing here. So I have the chin mount here. This is how it looks out of the package, just like this one. And then I have the DJI magnet clip on top, how I anticipate I'm gonna rig it up, just to try and get an idea of what this is gonna look like once I'm done and see the height. So I'm gonna put this camera on here now, so you'll be with me for the ride here, so to speak. So now we're mounted on the clip. and I'm gonna mount it. If I were to mount it on a gas tank, this is what it's gonna look like. Now we can loosen this. And obviously because of the angle of this tank here, we're gonna have to mount it, and then my arms are gonna be forward a little bit just to level us off. So I'm gonna mount that forward. So it's gonna look something like this in ultra wide. I have plenty of extension pieces. I can just throw an extra link in there and it'll raise it up to about here. Whatever I wanna do, I can do. Keep in mind though, because this arm here, if you see where the slots are, like really ideally, if I was smart, I'd probably mount it this way, sideways, because a lot of the pieces I have are the ones that do 90s. So it fits and then it has a turn, but I'm not gonna mount my chin mount sideways just for that. I want to be able to have this on my right hand side, since I'm right-handed, easily be able to adjust. And if I have to buy a straight extension, I have some, but I'm using them for other locations. So I'll buy a new straight link for that to extend this higher if I need to. But I think something about here, I think that looks pretty good. I mean, if I go lower, I just don't know if I want to be that far back. I want it to be immersive, but I don't want you to be watching the ride from my crotch, you know what I mean? I like the way that looks, so I think I'm gonna throw this camera back on my chest and we'll start. I'm not gonna mark it. I think I'm gonna eye it up pretty well, I think, and we'll hope for the best. So I'm about ready to get started. I got everything I need. It's pretty straightforward. Comes with a wipe, one that's alcohol and one for drying after to get any excess debris or dirt. Your first one, your wet one, your second one, your dry one, and then, you know, the actual thing with the 3M back. So you'll peel that off. One trick, if you're doing it for your helmet inside, a heat gun, and honestly, probably not a heat gun, a blow dryer would be best because you don't want to murder it with heat. Warm up the surface that you're going to be sticking it to, and or warm up the 3M backing. It will make that adhesive bond a lot stronger. This has been sitting out in the heat. This is fucking plenty hot, so as it is. In fact, I'm hoping it's not too hot. It might be an issue, but we'll find out. So I don't know about y'all guys. Anytime I get like an alcohol wipe with anything, I get my own alcohol. If you're in a pinch, it's great to use, but I'd much rather use my own and make sure that I have enough to thoroughly clean that surface. So what I'm gonna do then is wipe down this area that I want to adhere the chin mount to. So that feels nice and clean. I'll use the other dry side of it to just dry that up. Cool. Like I said, this is already plenty hot and I want to mount it this way. I just have my thumb screw in here just as a reminder, and also to have something to hold on to if I need it. And I have gloves on, not really necessary. I just didn't want my oils, my fingers getting on anything and just interfering with the adhesion process. This thing has only been sitting outside for like a minute or two and it already feels so hot. So we're gonna peel that off. Like I said, everything is warm as can be. I want this on my right side. I determined I want it somewhere center height-wise, which is about here. And center on the tank, roughly right about there. Boom. We're gonna just mush that in. Make sure every part of it is nice and flat and down. You have a quick hot sec to adjust if you need to. Hopefully you don't. And you need to just apply pressure to this bad boy for a few minutes. I think it says like 20-30 seconds. I'll put the time on the screen, but I just like to go above and beyond. I just always feel nervous everything's gonna fall the hell off. Just making sure there's no air bubbles too. Moving my fingers around and pushing outward toward the edges. God, this tank is hot. This should definitely do the trick as far as getting this to adhere pretty well. I just hope it's not overly hot. Stay tuned, because if the camera falls off, you'll find out. The thing is, you're not supposed to mount anything on here for 24 hours, so you should let it dry for the day. I'm still gonna throw the camera on there just to see what the shot looks like, and then I will wait to throw this on for like a more vigorous, high-speed, bumpy ride until tomorrow. Gonna get his clear arms tan today, boy. Tell you what. Yo, Terry! I had this, in one of my videos, I had a bunch of junk over here. I had called 1-800-GOT-JUNK to come get just a bunch of crap we were cleaning out of the house. There's these two kids, a white kid and a black kid. They were both cool as shit. Shout out Deshaun and my man, I forgot your name, I apologize, with the Mustang Eco Boost. You know who I'm talking about if you're watching this, but Deshaun, he's like, you know Terry, right? He's like, you know White Boy Terry? And I was like, I don't know White Boy Terry, bro. He was so baffled the fact that I didn't know White Boy Terry. I don't know if this guy's a celebrity in the area. If he is, I mean, shout out White Boy Terry. Or if he thought just because we're white and we both ride motorcycles that I just automatically knew him. Either way, that shit made me laugh. I was cracking up that night. He's like, Terry's crazy, bro. He's ripping down that highway, middle of the night. Ever since then, anytime a motorcycle rips by the highway, like a White Boy Terry out there. Terry!
You know what I'm saying? Riding on my jock, you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to have a good time, you know what I'm saying?
Just ripping up the asphalt. All right. I think that's good. Held it on there for about a minute or two. And yeah, it looks ugly. I'm kidding, it looks good. It's just, it's weird having like a thing on your gas tank. We'll see. It looks mostly centered.
Mostly connected. Mostly.
I think it looks good. All right, let's adjust this mount on the camera. We're gonna straighten it up a little bit, bend it slightly forward. There's gonna be something like that. So I actually redid this quick, so just a quick tip. Something I thought about, but I forgot while I was filming because I was distracted by filming. Normally your lens is not centered on your camera, so something to keep in mind. So I had this pretty well centered. If anything, it was just a C hair to the left. Because my lens is already on the left side, now it's gonna look way far left. So I actually peeled this up and redid it and moved it to the right. So this is a good test. I don't think you're supposed to reuse it if it's been mounted on there for a while, but since I had just peeled the adhesive off, it's so warm, the adhesive was still tacky and it was not fully dried yet. I was able to peel that up pretty easily without leaving any residue. I wiped it up again quick and then repasted it down just a slight hair to the right to try and make this lens be more on center. So the next video I put out after this, I'm going to be riding with this. So if you want to see how it holds up, subscribe and look for that next video. I'll make sure to do a ride specifically with this. I'll go out tomorrow once this actually has a full day to set up like you're supposed to, especially since I peeled it off and I redid it. It's probably risky, so I'm gonna risk my camera for you guys and let you know if this is even possible. It's supposed to be able to be done. It's probably still a risk. I'm sure people will get in the comments like, no, don't do that, that's crazy. But it still feels super, super sticky and super adhered, if that makes sense. The adhesive still felt very strong. If you're going to do this and you're afraid to get it wrong the first time and you wanna know, can I just re-peel it up quick and reinstall it? I think that's fine. I'll be the guinea pig for y'all and we'll find out.
All right, so as I said at the end of that last part, I technically peeled this back up again and then reattached it. So let's find out if it still works like it should. So really hoping, my fingers are crossed, that I don't lose my like $500 action camera. Curious to see how the stabilization handles all the vibration. So far, I've been extremely satisfied and impressed with DJI's stabilization, but this will be a real test. I mean, I've had it mounted on the windscreen, but the windscreen has some flex to it, which I think absorbs some of the vibration. But the gas tank's a solid piece of metal with no give, so I'm curious to see how, if at all, that impacts the camera. Camera's still on, yay! So far so good, guys. So it looks like you can unpeel it and restick it as long as you did it pretty much right away before I had time to cure. I think you're in good shape. Obviously, if that changes in the next week while I'm using this, I will certainly update everybody. I think it looks really cool. I hope you guys agree. I'm doing this for you more than myself. I want the shots to look awesome. I'm just trying to experiment with different camera angles and find things that look great. I think this might have to get swapped out. I know we discussed that. Now riding and just getting the sneak peek I can before I left of what the footage might look like. I think we're gonna have to do a follow-up, but I'll just say this before we get back to future me. I will follow up with another video. I'm gonna swap this to my light smoked windscreen. It's much more transparent, and we're gonna see how much better the footage looks, because I have a feeling, as cool as this looks right now, and as much as I like the way this looks, swapping to the light smoked clear windscreen is gonna make it that much better, because you'll be able to see the full road ahead. And when I go hit those twisties, that's gonna make for, I think, some really, really fun riding footage for y'all to watch. So, all right, future me, take it away.
These chin mounts are fantastic. If you're gonna record your rides, they're flexible. You can mount them wherever. So you saw I have one on my windscreen, but one in the gas tank. Put them wherever you wanna put them, as long as it flexes to that surface. It's kind of sweet. If you do want these, you can get these on Amazon. I have these linked. I pretty much have all my gear, everything I film with, I ride with, any piece of equipment, everything that I use is linked below. Like, comment, subscribe, link in the description for membership. All my videos are early for members, exclusive member-only videos, live streams coming soon, first access to channel merch, and some other stuff coming that we'll keep behind closed doors for now. Appreciate it, everybody. Thank you for watching. Ride safe, and I'll see y'all on the next video. Get you a chin mount. Peace. All right, damn, every time I step by the bike, I get a bug or bee flying in my ear, my dang ear hole. Let me be, go and get bugs.